Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. If you are new, hey girl, my name is Amir. I'm all things beauty and fashion related here on YouTube with a little bit of live content. So today we are doing my hair. So let's get into it. So the product that I'm using today is the Argan Oil Foam from Cream of Nature, and then these orange perm rods, and I ended up using the purple and the gray ones, which you guys will see later. And I am doing this on pre-stretched hair. So I am taking my comb and just making a section. Really, you don't have to make sections when you're doing your perm rods. It's just preference on if you want it to be uniformed or not. I kind of like it when it's not uniform, so the curls will fall better and there won't be a distinctive line when you take out your rollers. But yes, so let's get into it. So I am going section by section, and I take a decent sized section in the back since it's not a lot of hair back there. So I'm just eyeballing it or filling it out with my finger, and this is how big I'm going to make the first section. And I'm using a small tooth comb to detangle the ends, and I am taking my time with this because I don't want to pull or damage my hair. So I'm taking 2 pumps of the mousse, and I am coating it on my ends first and then working it up the shaft. And I'm not bringing it close to the root because I don't want the root to be reverted when I put my hair in the rod sets. So I'm starting from the end, and I'm doing this little tuck under, and I'm taking my time. Sorry if it's out of camera, but I'm taking my time. I'm tucking it under, and I am smoothing it out. Every time I move up, I'm going to smooth it out, and then I'm going to roll it over and over again until I get to the root. Now this one I had to redo several times because I just didn't like how it was laying. I wanted to be tight to the root as possible without having it pull and make it uncomfortable. So I'm doing the process once again, taking my comb, doing a little bit of detangling, 2 pumps of the mousse, and then the roller. I didn't show it in the video, but between each row, each column that I do make, I do go in with some hair oil so I can make sure that my scalp is nice and moisturized, as well as my hair. Because I'm not sitting under the hood or a dryer. I'm just going to let it air dry for a not so crunchy consistency, for lack of a better word. But when I place the cap of the perm rod on, I'm placing it on the side where the roll tuck is, so it can stay secured to my head. As you can see, I'm redoing this part over again, and I'm going to do it one more time off camera, so you guys will see that later on. And I'm just going to speed past this part, and I'm gonna check back in when we get to the other sections. Now we moved a little bit up on the head, and I'm starting to use the different color rollers. And honestly, I could have done without parting my hair because it was really no point. So yeah. But once again, it'll make it easier to grease or oil your scalp, whatever your preference is. I do oil my scalp with the Jamaican castor oil, and I use the mango scented one. Love that one. And then I use I believe it's the Mayel rosemary and mint stimulating oil. I love that one because that's a little Doppler thing, so it'll apply better. So for this section, I use the gray perm rods, and I wish I would have just stuck with the purple and the orange because the curls was just too small and tight for me, and I didn't really like that. So for the looser, bigger curls, go with the orange, and the purple for your mid-size medium curl. Those are my two preferences. I do want to try the blue one, the turquoise roller, just to see how my hair will set on a bigger roller. And for the gray ones, as you can see, I'm having just a little bit of a difficult time for the hair to stay, so I just use a little bit more foam for the ends so they can stay flat before I roll it up to the root. So I'm taking my time and I am rolling it backwards, like away from my face, and then rolling it, and then placing the cap on the top to make sure that it is secured. I do want to say be careful around your edges when you're doing your perm rods or your flexi rods or any type of pulling protective style for your hair, because it will give you those little rash bumps, or it'll just feel really uncomfortable, especially if you sleep in your rollers. So that's what I ended up doing, and I had to go back in and fix the rollers on my temples and at the nape of my neck because it was just pulling too hard and it was just uncomfortable, and I could not do it. Okay, I want to keep my edges for as long as possible. And yeah. And another thing, you don't necessarily have to do your perm rods on stretched hair. You could do it on wet hair. That's what I normally would do. But I was like, let me see how it'll look on blow dried hair, if the curls will last longer, if they'll be more defined, if they'll be more bouncy. And I was really surprised. Will I continue to blow dry my hair before I do these perm rods? Only time will tell, because I want to say yes, but then again, I want to say no because I don't really like putting heat on my hair unless I'm getting like braids or something, but that's like on occasion. So we'll see. And this is what your perm rod should look like once you're done. You can go back in and fix the rollers that aren't really up to your liking, like the ones on my crown. I kind of made them a little bit bigger in the section, and they were kind of bushy close to the root, and I didn't want that. I wanted to be as tight as possible, like I said earlier. And it's best to mix up the roller size all over your head so the curls can somewhat look nice when you take out the roller, so one section won't look so big and then the other section are so small and tight. So yeah, and I went ahead and I just put on my satin scarf. I went to sleep like this. I didn't sit under a dryer because my handheld dryer broke, so I have to get another one. So in the meantime, just making sure that it is as air dried as possible before I put this on so it won't be wet when I take it off in the morning. And yeah, make sure that you try to sleep pretty as possible. It's now the next day, and this is how the first curl turned out. I was in the middle of making a TikTok, so that's why I'm looking to the side. But yes, I am taking the roller out the opposite way, and I'm just making sure that the curls are set and they're not still wet from the mousse. And I know that the root is a little bit bushy, which is fine. I really don't care for the frizz or for the bush, but I'm just going over, just taking my time, rolling it the opposite way, not disturbing the curl too much before I put my oil on my hand so I can separate the curls. And this is the part where I was talking about how I didn't like the curls being too tight with the gray roller set. It was just too tight and it just wasn't flowing with the purple and the orange. If your hair is shorter than mine, then the gray rollers would work perfectly for your hair, so it can, define your curls really, really well. Personally, I just do not like them. I am here for the orange. Next time I'll do my full head with the orange rollers and possibly the blue turquoise one just to see how the curls will look. But I am pleased with how the three different rollers work together, all all together, if that makes sense. I hope I didn't sound redundant, but yeah, just take your time and have fun with the curls. The oil that I'm using, it's like three different oils inside. I think it's jojoba oil, vitamin E, and sunflower seed oil. But yeah, I'm just taking a couple of drops and I am coaxing my hair each curl, and I am unraveling the opposite way of the curl, and I'm taking my time. I'm stretching the curl out not to disturb it too much, and I am pulling it to the end of the hair and unraveling it with my finger. And another little quick little advice tip that I can give, just make sure that you're taking your time when you're undoing your curls, because you don't want to disturb the curl pattern and then you just have this bush ball of a mess on top of your head. So just take your time, turn on a movie, listen to some music while you're doing this, and yeah. I know I said this earlier in the video, but I think that I will continue to pre-stretch my hair before I do my perm rods, because that lasted a lot longer than how it does when I just do it on washed hair, wet hair without stretching it. It got a lot bigger over the course of a week and a half, and I didn't have to do much but just shake the curls out, fluff the roots, and go on about my day. And my hair was extremely, extremely soft. If you guys are wondering what my wash day routine is for my hair, then give this video a big thumbs up so I can get that in the works for you guys. Because I think the next hairstyle that I'm end up getting will be braids again. So I'll show you guys how I prep my hair for braids and then the takedown process. So I do go in several times to separate more curls so I can have a bigger and fuller look, and I am stretching it out with my fingers, making sure that I still have oil on my hands so it can just glide through. And I'm just make sure and I'm just making sure that I get the big sections and unraveling, unfolding, defining them before I go in with my pick or my comb to fluff out the roots. Usually I would go in with a pick, but I couldn't find mine this day, so I just used my wide tooth comb, and I'm just separating the hair, and I'm getting close to the root and pulling upward, and I'm making sure that I don't touch the curls too much so it won't be fuzzy. And I also use my fingers too to make sure that the parts that I made are covered by the hair, and make sure that you don't forget the back of your head because that's an important part too, as well as your crown, so people won't be looking at you like, girl, you missed a spot. So yeah. But I just keep on defining, stretching, pulling, shaping my hair until I have it to my liking, and I also shake it out so the curls can fall better as well. Make sure that you don't shake your head too hard because you will hurt your neck. It will be sore the next day. So just take your time and have fun with your hair. But this concludes today's video. If you like what you saw, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. All of the products will be in the description box down below as well. I want to thank you guys once again for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.